Philippines now is also quite hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Philippines is also wind or wind plus solar.
Actually, we are doing wind in Philippines.
Yeah. Offshore and
No,
onshore.
That's onshore.
Onshore.
So far.
Đừng lấy hồi chị.
Okay, so thank you very much for arranging time for the meeting today. And last time we discussed with Ms. Kate. So the big concern is how to guarantee our investment. Because last time we already discussed the two aspects for the EPC and project development. So I think this is already clear. And for the investment, so that the main concern is how to guarantee. So that's also the main reason why I come here for the meeting.
So before we get into the conversation and details of addressing your questions, any high-level, sharing you have about how you think about this opportunity and compared to what you're doing right now, and so any thoughts on your interest and how you feel about this opportunity?
Well, the background is we have done also that the same thing for Wind Group.
Yeah.
So we have interest. And secondly, this is also that new business, but we feel that it has quite a good potentials.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we also confirm that we have interest in this business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Great. So the important context from our side was that we actually quite like last time when we met the team, we were very impressed with your team because initially our thinking was more about O&M and EPC, but then I think the team really understand the opportunity very well, and we came back quite excited that the meeting was very productive. I think the important context we want to set before we get into details, and we'll explain and clarify all the questions you have, is that unlike a renewable business like wind or even VinFast, for example, you first set up so many charging stations and then you start selling vehicles. This business is slightly different. It's more, you set up in phased manners. You don't set up a whole city. You set up your swap network in a planned manner. So, for example, we are not VinFast was targeting a whole city of consumers and stuff. We want to start with B2B only the delivery, only the Grab, the Lazada, the Gate Post, the Gatetel, the fleets. So we know where demand will come, and we know their routes. We know where Lazada go, how they go, what they do, and we can plan our infrastructure in a more focused and efficient manner. We don't have to put charging station in the whole city. So we know that if we sell, for example, plan to sell 3,000 units in first year, we know that in the first quarter we will sell, let's say, something like 750 units, and we know this 750 unit will go to Lazada or will go to Grab, and we know where they will be deployed. So there is a higher utilization and higher productivity of our assets. So you don't have to commit your money for the whole project on day one. So in a wind project, you put all the money day one, and then you expect power to be generated, then power to be bought by companies. Or in VinFast case, you put many charging stations, and then you expect that VinFast will sell scooters and they will come and charge and then money will come. In this case, you're not putting money on day one. You're putting money slowly. You put money in first quarter for the scooters to be sold in first quarter. Next quarter we said, and we grow, we fine tune about how our demand is picking up. If the demand is picking up fast, we put more station fast. If the demand is slow, we regulate our capital expenditure. So I think that is a very, very important understanding that, because maybe you are used to the mindset of investing all the money in projects one and then guaranteeing the demand and guaranteeing the stuff. In this case, the project is very much low risk because you're not putting a high amount of investment on day one. Bruce, you want to add anything to this?
No, I think it's right.
So I think that's the starting point, and after that we will get into all the discussions. But very important to understand that we don't start with big money on day one, because even we want to fine tune our offering and we want to make sure that our money is getting utilized and returned faster. We don't want that we put so many swap stations and then no user. Then you can't return your money back. So it's like that. So we do a phase.
So in this case, sorry to interrupt, but in this case, I need to know also your plan.
Yeah.
Maybe let's say that first quarter, how many train stations, and next quarter, yeah.
We
So
share-
we need to know the details schedule.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we'll share that. So you want to?
You have the
The good part about this project is that it is very material opportunity. In 10 years time, we are talking about $1 billion book, but we are starting with a $5 million investment. So you don't have to commit $1 billion on day one.
So what
So
So actually, I could hear the questions based on the discussion we had last week,
yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
Chung,
yeah,
and then we try to address one by one.
yeah.
And what we are trying to say here, Mr. Chung, is that based on what Sumit and Bruce just mentioned, the deployment of capital
Yeah.
for the capex that you want to invest into the asset co is going to be in a phased manner. First of all, for example, just like what they mentioned, that every quarter there will be battery packs, every quarter there will be vending machines that will be put. So, for example, in first year, if you look at the total capex, it's around 6 million. But that 6 million itself is quarter-wise split across based on what is the deployment every quarter in this manner. So, for first quarter, based on the sales volume that we have and based on the vending machines and the battery packs that you need only 600,000. Then by the second quarter, it becomes 1.19 plus 0.59. Basically, for the first 6 months, which is where the proof of concept of the business itself is going to come, that okay, how much traction is there in the business, how much sales is happening, how much is the offtake in your power business. Parallel, it will be like how many megawatts or how many gigawatts of power is being taken away in the offtake part. So that part will become clear as the sales volume actually happens. We have the sales figures, we have the vending machines, battery packs. We can share all those figures with you. But just to give you the deployment of capital part, in the first 6 months, it's around $1.5 million. And then it becomes around 3 at the quarter 3. And then, of course, at the quarter 4, if the sales figures happen based on what the numbers in the business plan is projected, it comes to around 6 million, 5.9 approximately. So the first question that we are trying to answer, of course, I'll let Sumit and Bruce answer that, is that the offtake guarantee that you're talking about is already limited by the fact that it's not $1 billion bet, it's just a $1.5 to $2 million bet in the first 6 months. That's
And then, if things go great,
Yeah.
we keep putting money, we keep making, and we reach that $1 billion in 10 years' time. If at the end of quarter 1, we realize that, okay, we plan to sell, let's say 100 scooter, or we sold only 80, then we push the remaining battery to the next quarter. So we don't, put all the battery together on day one. So that minimizes your risk, that minimizes our risk about capital utilization.
Okay, so here I have a question. So how long does it take to, how to say that, from the time we decide to invest until we have the charging station ready? How many months you think? Just like today, I decide, okay, I will invest this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when do you think that the charging station is ready to serve the customers?
As long as we have full government approval for JV setup, for the stations themselves, actually installing a station is very simple. The station is one piece. You just have to make sure the place is flat, there's power, and you just,
In Taiwan, how many days it takes?
How many days?
Like,
installation is 1 day.
No installation that I know, but
That's right.
let's say that delivery lead time for the equipment delivery and blah blah blah. I think let's say that add up together. So what is the practice
Lead time.
in
So I think what we can work out all the details. I think what we probably have to agree is about shipment time, and then how much inventory will be
Yeah.
held by Gogoro, how much inventory hold by IPC or the asset company, deployment time, first payment, because we would like to make sure from your standpoint that as soon as you pay the money, commit the capital, then you start to get the return. So we think about this as full year capital 5 million, but probably the commitment is only Q1 plus Q2. And even then, it's not a payment of capital, it's a commitment of capital. Then when we, let's say we do FOB Taiwan, yeah? I ship you batteries and stations, I give you FOB Taiwan 60-day payment terms. In that 60-day, the asset can arrive Vietnam, get installed in Vietnam, and then 30 days later, first customer payment against that asset, so that there's no big gap. Because we understand as soon as you deploy capital, you have to get paid on the asset base. But the turnover is very fast because the battery itself is just movable and the station is quite straightforward to install. Not like offshore wind, huge
we
project.
have to install infrastructure for the charging station. We have to run the cable and we have to do a lot of things. So I don't think you say that one day it can be.
So you
something
need,
like,
you
ready.
need government approval for sure,
Yeah.
and you may need to pull some cable, but
Yeah.
that will not necessarily be 100% done by the asset company. That's the JV's expense.
So for this, I don't quite understand because if I invest, so I have to pay first for the project development, right? I have to come to the authority and ask for permission, right? And then I also have to maybe for the clearance, I mean land clearance, right? And then install.
So at the moment, in the
Yeah.
current setup, the JV co will do the deployment. So you just do the asset purchase and management. The JV, we will identify the location. We will do all the permitting with the authority. We do the land lease with the landowner and ensure that the land is available to put the swap station there for ASETCO. This is the current setup where we present the idea to you. But in case you think that if you would like to do the ASETCO plus the network deployment, this is something we can discuss. Yeah.
So I
that
think
one, that one I think we make more value because
Yes.
we have
Yeah.
experience before
Yes.
for I mean development phase.
Yeah.
Make more value because only just buy the equipment and then just put it there for 1 day. Let's say that after 1 day it's ready. So what we contribute
That's right.
is not really much.
So the JV owns the responsibility of government approval, land location. We would love to engage IPC directly to
Yeah.
do the build, to do the installation, maybe even pull the power, do all of those things because as you said, that's your core capability.
Yeah.
But the financial risk of that part of the business is held by the JV.
I see. I
So
get
you
the point.
could well be the partner who's
Get the point.
doing that for the JV.
Yeah, I get the point.
Yes, and that's just, we pay you for the work done, and we would love to,
Yeah,
because
I
you
get
have
the
so
point.
much experience, very helpful.
Okay, so that so actually we are something like purely the investor, right? We pay the money, and after one day is ready, right?
No, so what we are saying is there are two roles you play.
Yeah,
One role is you own the asset, on the battery, on the substation,
yeah,
and therefore you get the lease money from the JV.
yeah,
The second role is you help install
yeah,
these vending machines,
yeah,
you help
And
maintain
maintain
the battery,
yeah,
and you make sure that the station functioning on ground. That's the second role. The second role is not part of the asset. Second role is your relationship with the JV.
mm,
That the JV is partnering with you. So Castrol Gogoro partner with IPC as the EPC and O&M service.
yeah,
Castrol Gogoro and IPC partner for asset ownership. Two separate things. You do both, but they're two separate
I
relationships.
see, and how are you going on with JV now? How is setting up now for the JV?
Very good, because we managed to get our IRC approval. So we just got it few days ago.
Yeah.
So we are now in the process of getting the ERC. So
Yeah.
almost
Okay, so that the JV is between you and another let's say that partner.
Gogoro
Two.
and Castro
Castrol and
Ah,
Gogoro.
interesting.
in the JV.
Interesting. Only two of you.
So far.
So far.
I see. So this is something like two separate business. Okay, one business. Let's say that I may work for the JV, right?
Yes.
And the other
As a service
business
provider.
is that we are the investor.
Yes,
Okay.
for the asset.
And even within the context of assets, can I use real quick? There's two different assets. And maybe this is too much detail, so forgive me if each station, this we call a GO station, is almost like a charging location. It's fixed,
Yeah.
plugged in, right? It has 30 slots or 10 slots, depends which.
Eight for Vietnam.
Yeah, or 8 slots, depends which different configuration of vending machine, yeah? So, then there is the batteries. Each battery goes into each slot. And this is the battery pack.
Mm.
So we, in the asset company, is all battery packs and all stations. But we can also, for example, if we have different partners, we can say, because this is more like the infrastructure, this goes here, moves all over. So if IPC, for example, said, I am very interested in this part,
Mm.
we have to make sure that someone will pay for all of this, but maybe the station part is more aligned to your historical behavior. So,
Yeah.
and then as you said, this is business one, business two is EPC plus O and M on an ongoing basis. Service
Mm.
to JV.
I see.
And this one can be regardless of this one. Even if this one does not exist, this can still exist.
Right.
Obviously, we would like to do as much as possible with a few.
Okay, so now I think it is clear for business two. Yeah, because business two, I think it's clear. But for business one, our concern is how to guarantee this. It's like if I let's say that spend 0.59 million already.
You won.
Yeah, and then after that you withdraw from the market.
Yeah.
So what will happen?
So I think what you have, the real question to ask yourself is, in the first year, the $5 million,
Yeah.
is 3,000 units,
Yeah.
right? And so each quarter equals about 750 units, just on average, right? So Vietnam every year is 3 million unit market.
The vehicle.
So we just have to believe that in the first year, we can sell 3,000 against 3 million.
But what happens if you cannot reach the figure?
Then all that
And you
happens
think
is,
that if you cannot reach the figure, so you think that the Vietnam market is not feasible and you withdraw from the market. That's my question, my concern.
right,
What will
so,
happen?
so let's say this, year one is supposed to be 3K,
Yeah.
year two is supposed to be 12K, let's just do 2 years
Yeah.
for now, okay? And this is what builds that table that's there. But let's say maybe year one is actually only 1.5K,
Mm.
right? So then what would happen is, quarter one is 0.6 million, I round it up. Quarter two is 1.19 million, and then we would say, not yet achieving goal, so 0, 0.
You don't need to put any money.
And then your payback is just slightly extended. So I think your fundamental question is a good one, which is what if you don't even hit 1.5K?
Yeah.
I think the question is, do you believe that with Castrol's brand and market penetration and capability, and Gogoro's technology, we will not hit even 1.5K? Then your question is a good question.
We believe this is very conservative. We believe we can do much more, and the whole belief comes from consumer validation, because when we test this concept with consumer, they give us 99% consumer say yes, we want to buy. So our research, gives us the confidence. And secondly, there are two things in this. One is the power of the trust of Castrol brand, Vietnam #1 brand in automotive. Consumer trust Castrol. And then technology of Gogoro, where #1 in battery swapping, and people know what they do in Taiwan, and people have seen. So when they come together, we believe we have a better solution than anybody in the market. Anybody. So this solution, and I'm talking for B2B, not for not for B2C. B2B, there is no service today, Grab, BE, Lazada, there is no VinFast, there is no other player, because they can't stop to charge for 6 hours, 7-hour charging, nobody has time. If I drive my bike taxi, I want to keep riding, I don't want to stop and charge. So nobody in Grab use anything else today, but they want to electrify. Government of Vietnam, particularly Ho Chi Minh City, just announced that they want to convert Ho Chi Minh City 400,000 vehicle to electric for all delivery company. So government creating policy, forcing companies to go electric. And we have a solution which nobody else has. I think I can do much more than that, not just 1.5. But I don't want to come and tell you, I will do 150,000 and then I do only 20,000. I want to say, even internally for Castrol and Gogoro, our investors, we want to prove that we promise you this, we deliver this. More credible, more trust. That's why that target of 3,000 vehicles, not much.
The 3,000 vehicles, sir, is actually just 0.2% of the market share.
Yeah.
0.2% of the whole market share which is there of electric vehicles, not of the vehicles.
I get your point, but how to say that I don't have any experience or any how to say knowledge about motorbike before.
Yeah.
So I don't have the ability to make the judgment how much I can sell.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's fair.
I'm frank.
No, it's fair. No, it's fair. And even when we model, we look at number. We say market 3 million. when BP do very big things, big project, you know. When
Yeah.
I go to my board and show them this, they say, why so low market share?
Yeah.
I said, no, this is to guarantee this is what we will do, but we can do more. I can't
Yeah.
tell you more now, because if I tell you more now, I don't deliver, there is a problem, credibility problem. So, to answer the question, if you think about as a CEO of IPC, you are investing in something which has a vision of becoming a $1 billion revenue 2034. 1 billion. But to create a big business, you don't have to create a big investment today.
Yeah.
You can start very small
Yeah.
and test. Like, oh, does this work? Does this not work? Now, if by putting in, 1.5 million in 6 months, or let's say 5 million in the whole year, 5-6 million, whatever that number is,
Yeah.
your risk is so small, but your price of being part of this venture, when this venture becomes a billion, is very big. So your risk reward ratio is very favorable for you, because you're taking low risk to participate in a business which has got a huge potential. Now, if this business, in a worst case scenario, does not do well, let's say worst case scenario, we got, let's say first 2 quarters, you put 1.6 million and we sell 0 vehicle. We don't sell any vehicle. Nobody buy. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happened in that
Yeah,
case?
yeah, in that case, what is your worst case scenario? What is your worst case scenario? 1.6 million, right? Worst
Yeah.
case. Now, we are saying that your worst case is only what you already put. That's the worst, 1.6.
One for that. No,
Sorry?
one for that.
1.6,
Oh yeah, 1.8, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mistake. So 1.8 million is your worst case scenario. But if we haven't sold anything,
Yeah.
you are at 1.8.
Yeah.
What Bruce explained, we may have thought we'll sell 3,000.
Yeah.
Very difficult to sell 0. We
Yeah.
may sell 500, we may sell 1,000.
Yeah.
Then whatever is not sold will be sold later. So therefore still not 0, it is only delayed, the payment delayed. Even if that does not happen, then whatever not used in the market, we have a possibility of taking it back. Not guarantee, because we have to see how the rules and the policy and the government allow that to do or not. We can see how we can take back that asset.
The new assets.
The new,
Not
what is
the
not
old
used,
assets.
what you don't put in the market, we can find a way to, bring that back. Based on how the government rules and how the import and everything works, we can take that back. So your worst case risk after 6 months, 1.8 million.
Okay,
Your
so-
best case,
So the worst scenario is I lose for 8 million, right?
You don't know it.
no. I'm saying that is if we sell 0, but we will not sell 0, right? As I said, today I don't know, till the time we bring the
So
vehicle.
what do you think that you will not sell 0? Let me tell you one story, because I'm also very close to Sunha,
Yeah.
the wood type manufacturer, because we are savage. So we know each other quite long time ago. So we say that Chung, I have planned to manufacturing the electric motorbike. So I say, okay, tell me, what is your advantage to compete with VinFast? So we say that I already made a very detailed exploration. I came to China, and I let's say the first phase, I asked them to do OEM for me. So my calculation, we can make a similar quality to VinFast, but 60% of price. So then I can sell. So that he answered to me. Sorry, So yeah, okay. So you have zero experience to manufacture electric motorbike. So also that your name is zero. Yeah,
No problem.
yeah. So are you confident that you can, let's say that get some market share from them? Yeah. So he say,
Yeah, sure.
yeah. So he say that he feels, because I say that I have almost 30 years on the market. So my feeling tell me that I can have some market share in that way. Yeah, so that, so today ask you again, what is your advantage? What do you think that you can sell more than this?
Yeah. So
What is your advantage?
and that's exactly what I'm explaining. So
Yeah.
if you look at what is available in the market today, the entire market is based on charging, charging of scooters, not swapping.
Mm,
The B2B segment,
mm,
time very important. Nobody want to waste time to charge.
yeah,
Therefore, they don't go electric.
yeah,
Grab, BE, Lazada,
yeah.
Waypost, nobody go electric because
Mm,
they cannot afford charging vehicle.
Mm.
VinFast or all other Pega or all of these. This like
mm,
so all of these people provide only charging. Okay.
mm,
Now B2B segment, they ride 200 kilometers one day, 150 to 200 kilometers one day.
mm,
Very high usage
mm,
compared to normal consumer
mm,
who go office or go school or whatever, only ride 30 kilometers.
mm,
But a bike taxi, a food delivery, a parcel delivery, 150 to 200 kilometers, very high usage.
yeah,
When they shift to electric, they save money because cost of petrol, cost of maintenance, repair, oil, not required in electric.
mm,
But they cannot go electric because they can't spend 6 hours in one day to just charge.
mm,
That is what is the problem today
mm,
with all the vehicles
mm,
in Vietnam.
Mm.
Cannot go. But government of Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh government saying you go electric to all these people. Grab go electric, Lazada go electric. How can they go electric when they don't have a solution? That is what makes us unique. Because if you see our technology, and I think, have you seen how this works, swapping?
yeah.
Okay.
It does. Let's say that train the battery.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
the already
Less than 10
ready.
second, yeah.
Less than 10
ready-
second.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
Less than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Now, less than 10 seconds you can change battery.
Mm.
Which basically, if you think, if you think normal, don't think about, you are a consumer who's riding a Honda. All your life you ride Honda.
Mm.
Why should you go electric?
Mm,
Okay? Now, this technology provides you the number one benefit of
mm,
cost.
mm,
Your running cost much lower than riding a Honda or Yamaha or something else,
mm,
right? Secondly, the government want you to change. You have no choice. You don't have choice to ride ICE vehicle. Petrol vehicle cannot ride anymore.
mm,
Till last year, yes.
mm,
Now cannot. So you have to go electric. So you have to either go VinFast or go, Pega or Dat5 or something. But because you ride 200 kilometers in one day, you have to waste time charging. Cannot. Therefore, when you buy this bike,
yeah,
Swaps.
swapping allow you to keep
Yeah.
riding your bike
Yeah.
yeah,
without any stopping,
yeah.
and you get the saving of an electric bike. So
Okay, so here I have another question.
Yeah.
Because you know that VinFast they are also that now they're trying to producing the battery cell by themselves, right? In Vietnam. So what happens if one day they say, wow, I have a big infrastructure, so why not I do this business? I also let's say that also come to the shop business. Not only for my vehicles, also for other brand vehicle, because I have the factory to produce cheap battery,
Yeah.
and also have the very let's say that big network of infrastructure.
Yeah.
So, what happens if on the this thing happens?
Yeah, no, very possible, and that's possible. In fact, it
Yeah.
happened already.
Yeah.
VinFast actually started swapping,
Yeah.
and they could not continue. They stopped the operation. You know that? VinFast introduced swapping 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Then they stopped that because they don't have the technology to do swap the way Gogoro does swap. Gogoro has 10 years advantage on technology, software, algorithms, which VinFast did not have. VinFast was doing it through Winmart manually. So you take battery 20 kilo in Winmart,
You change it.
you change it there.
Change, that's
It's very difficult. Consumer don't like it. Consumer don't buy it. So VinFast stopped that operation.
Mm.
But in Taiwan, consumer buy this because easy. No need to use brain like Apple phone. No need, just take and play. So
I now get the point. So you say that your clear advantage is the technology that
Yes.
you can do the shopping, let's say that instantly,
yes,
right? So this is the key, right?
yes. And so I'll come to the main advantage for consumer. See, when a consumer buy, electric vehicle, they have multiple problems. One, cost of electric vehicle high because battery cost very high. So when they have Honda Wave or Honda Desire or whatever, they compare that with expensive electric vehicles because battery cost very high. They don't buy electric.
Yeah.
Number two, they say so much time to charge. I just go fill petrol, run. I don't need to charge vehicle. I don't want to buy electric. Third, even if I buy electric, expensive, and even if I'm ready to charge, then I don't know how many kilometers I can go. What if I have to go far and my bike has no battery? Then what do? So, and then most important, and I ask you a simple question: what phone do you use?
Samsung.
Which one? What model?
Uh,
Z Fold.
Folds.
Z5.
Fold.
Z Fold.
When did you buy this?
FPT shop.
No, when?
When?
How old?
I think a couple months ago.
Couple of months ago. Now, if I tell you that I give you a Samsung phone which was made 3 years ago, will you buy that?
Considering the version, so I will not.
No, right?
Mm.
Why? Because speed slow, battery low. Old Samsung phone, which was launched 2 years ago or 3 years ago, has not as good screen, not as good battery life, not as good processing capacity. That is what happened with electric vehicle. And the battery which come with electric charging vehicle, old, after 2 years, 3 years, battery will go. But in our case, the consumer is not buying battery,
Just vehicle.
is just buying vehicle, therefore affordable. Number two, there is no risk of obsolete technology for the consumer because consumer not buying old battery. That battery cannot last 10 years. You know what I mean? But our end, we have software. That is what makes us unique. You ask me unique, the battery technology, the battery management system, the software, where the consumer don't have to worry about, am I riding an old battery? Like, am I using old Samsung now? No. Consumer always get the latest battery update because that we manage. Consumer don't have to worry about it. So consumer not buying battery, consumer not worried about battery getting old or stuff, consumer not worried about range, and consumer not worried about charging time.
And
That is
maybe-
why we are unique.
And maybe the most important, those are all critical, safety.
Safety.
When the consumer
fire,
charges
charging.
at home, many fires. When the battery swapping in our stations, no fires. And every day in Taiwan today, we do 400,000 swaps. So 1.4 million batteries deployed, no issue. Extended battery life, business model proven in Taiwan, all of these things are real. So now we want to bring the experience to Vietnam together with Castrol because of their brand leadership in Vietnam.
So, and to your question, when Castrol want to get into this business, we search all over the world, different players who make electric bike. We go to China, we see many people. we go to Taiwan, we meet Gogoro, we go to India, we talk to many people. And then we identify this based on technology, only technology, because in this game, the most important thing, technology.
Okay, in most of the let's say that the game, so the key is technology. I
Yeah.
agree. Okay, so now another question. Okay, so if I let's say that considering whether I should buy let's say that Gogoro bike or I buy VinFast bike.
Yeah.
So I ask myself, okay, for Gogoro, now the first phase is maybe you just have the network in few districts, right, of the city. So what happens if I go to my hometown in another province?
Good question. And that is why we are not wanting to sell to normal consumer. When we begin first 2 year, we focus only on B2B, the delivery people only, not the normal consumer.
Mm.
For this reason, because if you start with B2B, demand focused, and therefore capital utilization higher, your charging station utilization higher. If you start with the other one, consumer, then your point is very valid, that you have to first make the network everywhere, and then the consumer feel confident, oh, if I go my hometown or if I go here, I have a charging point. But the way we build, and this is the learning we got, is that when you start building with B2B and create awareness, then once the city has 20 stations, 30 stations, to go to 100 stations very easy, because the consumer know, I've seen this, I know how it works. So you go from B2B to B2C.
So which B are you discussing now in Vietnam? Which B?
B2B,
Not
only
B2B, but
Grab,
which
B,
B?
Grab,
Shopee,
yeah.
Lazada, Viettel Post, Vietnam Post, GSTK. But in the first year, we target Grab, Shopee, and B. As a tier 1 customer,
we-
they do mobility, food delivery, and then parcel. Yeah. The
Yeah.
second year, we go both all B2B customer.
So
So,
mainly for ensuring that the capital utilized well. I can do what VinFast do, put money everywhere, put charging station everywhere, but then no utilization, nobody using it. No point. So
But you
therefore,
need to
we
be-
don't want to go, and that is why I keep very small number. Only focus on Grab, B, and we already have discussion with them.
Yeah.
We already have MOU with them. We already do pilot with them. You know, we are planning the pilot with them. So we know demand will come from where.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so that
and one last point.
yeah.
These company want to partner with us because they don't have solution, and government putting pressure on them to convert. They have target of electrification.
The reason why we keep pushing on this B2B and B2C point, just one simple point that I want to make is, in your business, right, in your power business, you sell power to two kinds of customers: domestic customers and industry customers. When you sell to industry customers, I am assuming in Vietnam, you get higher rates, you get higher utilization, you get better commerce, better business. That is the same thing with B2B. You are setting up a power company, that the asset company, and that company is selling power first to the better customers, to the people who are using
Using
it
more.
more,
They use the most
giving you better
energy.
price.
Yeah.
So that is the reason why B2B, to those customers who are using it more.
So difference
First.
between, because you work with VinFast, what is the difference between VinFast customer and the customer we want to target? The VinFast customer drive only 25-30 kilometer one day.
The B2C.
B2C. This customer, right, 150 to 200 kilometer one day, they consume more electricity, and they are less in number, and they are more concentrated in number, and they are also being forced by their employer to convert. This consumer has no pressure of converting. Nobody is asking this consumer to go convert. This consumer has no cost benefit because he is riding only 30 kilometer. No saving. But this consumer save money when they convert. This consumer has pressure of converting, and therefore we believe that this is very, very attractive. Now, second point which I wanted to make was, if we would love to work with VinFast. I actually think VinFast is a great company, and at some point we want to show you that in Taiwan we work with many companies. You want to show the PVGA? So we work with many companies who use maybe Bruce, you want to talk about
Yeah.
this?
So our model in Taiwan, while we do sell our own brand of vehicle called Gogoro, in Vietnam, we will not use the Gogoro brand. Because it's known for electric in some parts of the world, but probably not so well known in Vietnam. We will work to find the right brand for the vehicle. In Taiwan, Yamaha makes a vehicle that has our batteries inside it. So does a company called Aeon, so does Suzuki, and so do other Taiwan companies. We would like to do the same in Vietnam. Maybe Dat Bike, maybe Cadillacs, maybe VinFast, maybe Yamaha, maybe eventually Honda. Sunha, we already met with Sunha. So many different companies can launch a vehicle because our interest, the JV company, is really an energy company. Of course, the JV will also sell vehicles because you have to sell vehicles for there to be a business. But we hope if VinFast wants to make a vehicle that is powered by our batteries, perfect. And so then the infrastructure can be shared, not just one brand, many brands. So in Taiwan today, more than 10 vehicle makers, actually in Taiwan it's about 8 vehicle makers, and more than 50 different models. Some is powered by 1 battery, some powered by 2 batteries, some is 3-wheeler powered by 4 battery, all kinds of different price point, shape, style, color.
So this is like Android system. It can go on Huawei, it can go on Samsung, it can go on everywhere. We want.
So you mean that the battery can go for different brand of
Yes.
motorbike?
We already speak to Sona, by the way. We tell them they want to work with us to
Yeah.
make one vehicle
We
on.
talked to Sunha and they want to use our battery.
So we are open. We want to make sure that everybody, whoever want to use this, VinFast can sell consumer bikes to everyone. If they want to make B2B model, they can use this technology. And by the way, we have, as Bruce was explaining, there is vehicle selling. Selling 2-wheeler is a business, but our main business is selling energy through the swap station. That is the main business. Vehicle is only a way to show people that this works, because nobody else has this model. We want to launch the Castrol Gogoro vehicle to show to the market how this can be very innovative. Once we come in, we believe that other manufacturers would want to launch, like in Taiwan, 1 model or 2 models each from their side. We are happy to work. So we want to collaborate with more people.
Okay, it's clear to me now. Now, I think my last question about this is that if I feel it's not really safe enough for the investment, so can I just join partially? That means that maybe for the figure you have
Yeah,
25.
presented,
Yeah, you just
So
put
maybe
some
not
portion.
only myself, but let's say that you may work with me or also someone else.
Absolutely.
Is it open? Or,
Absolutely. So I want to tell you how this business model is.
Yeah.
In telecom,
Mm.
in telecom sector, you put cell phone tower,
Mm.
and many companies use the same cell phone tower.
Mm.
Same here. You can divide. Let's say your budget is you want to spend only 10 million. Okay, you can say that I want to do only 5 million in Ho Chi Minh in first year, and then next year also I do only 5 million. I don't want to do 20 million. So you are committing 10 million for Ho Chi Minh for first 2 years, and that's your thing. Fair enough. Now, whether you want to bring another investor or we bring another investor, that's fine, because what we will do is we'll say we need 25 million for Ho Chi Minh. You have provided 10 million of that, so you are 40% of that. Remaining 60%, so your share of revenue is then according to your share of investment.
Okay, here is one more question. Also, that the same issue. So, what is the minimum committed quantity from us? Because if you don't want to do all, but partially, so then what is the minimum committed quantity?
From your side,
Yeah.
Please, any answer to that?
To be honest, we have not thought about that question before, so.
Yeah, so
I think
you
we've
should
thought
think,
through most
think about
things.
it.
Yeah.
You should think about it.
I think actually what I would say is, we know the full amount we need, year one and year two, is this number, somewhere 25 to $30 million. Obviously, we don't know exactly, but somewhere there. So, what would be good to understand is your risk appetite, and then as Sumit said, we will work to find other partners. This is not a simple model where we can say we know exactly 22.5 plus 5.94 is the exact number. It maybe up a little bit, maybe down a little bit, depending on success. Maybe we push out a little bit if the volume is not there. And what we want to make sure is we have the confidence of our investors, and that we have a good partnership between the investors in the asset co. Because some of this we have to figure out together as we go. It's a brand new business model, especially in Vietnam. So I cannot tell you every detail, but we think there is a good story. We think there is a good technological advantage. We think the market will adopt. And then we have to work together as partners to find the right details to execute.
The way, if I were you, I'll tell you how I see this. I see this as, this is a $1 billion business in 2034. So it's a good business, but do we need to put billion today? No. You start with, let's say first year is 6 million. Let's say you make a commitment of 6 million first year. And that's a commitment, not money. Commitment. Which means you put money only of 1.8 because we need 6 months for sure, because we need to plan at least 6 months. So your money may be 1.8 for first year, commitment is for 6. Why? If things go the way we plan, then you should be ready with 6, and it give you confidence that you can go with 6. If things don't go as per plan, even we don't want to take your money. We don't want to take your money.
That one I would be clear. I would be clear
So,
at the beginning.
So therefore, what is the minimum? We are talking to right now a few people who are interested in this model, and we believe that if things really go big the way we want, we will need multiple investors. We will need, because maybe we need multiple for the same city, maybe one city, one investor, another city, another investor, we don't know. Because at this point, while our focus is to get things started, and we are talking about only 25, 20, 30 million, but my vision is of $1 billion. Because I want to make sure that people who come with that vision, but be practical and be smart about how we start, how we test, how we prove, and how we carefully move forward. So we are looking at multiple investors from our side also, because we believe this is a very big opportunity, and not one single company may not have the capacity or even the risk-taking thing about this. So we will look at multiple investors. So don't worry about that you have to do it alone. Now, what is the minimum? We can come back to you after we have done the conversations, and then we can say, based on our conversations, this is what minimum you need to do, and
Okay. Well, it's clear to me now. Because why today I ask so many questions? Because I'm gonna present this issue to my management board, and I think that the same question will be asked.
So the way I would suggest you pitch to your management board is start with this idea that you are going to participate in a business which is the top priority for the Ho Chi Minh and Vietnam government now, where you will be the champion of electrification, helping Ho Chi Minh become a cleaner, greener story, which Ho Chi Minh government want. That's the main thing. With a possibility of becoming a very big business if things go right, but the risk is low because you can start with very small. And then you can be the front and you can bring investors behind you, or we can bring investors in so that we share that whole asset co story. That's the pitch for your board.
And then in terms of timelines, do you think when you can come back with us with like additional question information or initial decision?
Well, I think it should be in this month because on Wednesday I'm gonna go to China for 1 week, and after that I make some study and present to my board. Yeah, and but if they may have more questions, then I will come back to you.
Sure.
So, but anyhow, we have to make clear within this month.
Yeah, if you want, actually, if you have time for taking out 1 day, maybe good for you to see the Taiwan business.
Yeah, you're welcome to come to Taiwan.
You just take out 1
on the way
day,
to China.
because once you see that,
Yeah.
once you see what is happening, then you will be very excited. You will say, wow, because you haven't seen this because what you have seen is Vietnam and VinFast and a few others. But when you see how this has been happening for last 10 years in Taiwan, you will see scale of what happens when, like, the whole market is using it and their experience.
But except Taiwan, where else can I see this?
India.
Korea is the biggest place after Taiwan. South
Nepal.
Korea, Seoul. Nepal is launched. India has a small pilot program now. What we know is true as Gogoro, the company. We have very good technology, but we do not understand individual markets. India is different than Vietnam, which is different than Korea, which is different than every other place. So we have to, in each country, find the right local partners. And so, for example, in India today, we are waiting to find the right local partners before we try to grow. We are 100% convinced the technology is good. The business model for local execution is very, very important.
So why not this idea is working in China?
It is.
Is it?
It is.
Well, it was launched in China together with Yadi is the vehicle maker and another company called Haojue, which is also a vehicle maker. They formed a joint venture and they bought equipment from us and they started to sell in China. 2 problems in China. The biggest problem in China, the vehicle is very, very small.
Okay, so Wednesday I come to Shanghai and then to the Guangzhou. So anywhere can I see this?
Not Gogoro, but Chinese company, many Chinese companies.
Swap station.
Swap station, many companies. China, and that's a good point. In China, in B2B, nobody uses charging, only swapping. Only swapping. China, all companies use swapping for B2B, not for B2C. Because B2C, as Bruce mentioned, very short distance, small vehicle.
Very small motor, very small
So
vehicle.
your technology and the one is being applied in China. Any difference or not?
I think the challenge in China, the vehicle is like the very low quality vehicle that tried to launch in Vietnam unsuccessfully.
China vehicle very low quality and very small power, low power. The vehicle in Taiwan, full 150cc equivalent.
Just like the Honda vehicle. In China, the motor about 600 or 800 watts. The 125cc is probably about 5 or 6 kilowatts. So 10 times the motor power, constant output. Yeah. So totally different world. And in China, it's basically a bicycle, even has pedals. Then they take the pedals off. When they sell it, they say electric bicycle. Take the pedals off. So very, very, very different business model.
I think the point is that in China, you get confidence that swapping works and charging don't work for B2B. But you don't find the vehicle, like Vietnam vehicle, very different. People who ride Vietnam Chinese vehicle never succeed in petrol also, because Vietnam consumer like quality, durability. That's why Honda so powerful. Honda Airblade or
Vision.
Honda Vision, or these are the models which sell because they are high quality. Chinese vehicle don't sell in Vietnam. Vietnam consumer don't. That's why the vehicle we manufacture in Taiwan is high quality. $3,000, $4,000, not $300.
And then you had some concern regarding to the potential customer, whether we can reach the sales target or not. So we already engaged a lot with the two leading platform company, Grab and Bee. We engaged, we did a survey with the riders, identify the pain points, and then identify what they need for the design and whether this technology work for them. So it's already proven
So
for the Bee and Grab riders.
Thank you, Khan. Very important point. We take rider from Vietnam, we bring them to Taiwan, we make them ride the
They
vehicle.
like it a lot.
We
Swap.
take the feedback, we then design the vehicle, and then we bring the rider again
Yeah.
to test the vehicle. So we make vehicle for Vietnam.
Yeah.
We don't
make
bring
the-
a Chinese import and just try to sell here.
They like the swap technology. They said that that's a perfect choice for them, solution for them. And we're gonna make a tailor-made vehicle for B2B riders. It's gonna be a new one.
Okay, so for this game, the technology is the key point. So, are you manufacturing the cells by yourself, or you get someone?
We purchased the cells today from the Korean battery makers, LG, Samsung,
Not Chinese one.
not Chinese. In
Fire.
Taiwan,
Fire,
yeah,
you can't safety.
in Taiwan today, we only use these two Korean. In theory, in the future, let's say for example, VinFast very successful at making battery cell. And maybe the Vietnam government says for battery swapping in Vietnam must use locally made cell, no problem. We have existing form factor of battery pack, we can change the cells. Of course, it takes some time. You have to qualify, you have to make sure safe, you have to do, government has to okay the pack, but it is possible.
Okay, I think I have asked enough for today. Thank you so much.
Welcome. If you have any further
Yeah.
questions,
Yeah.
please let me know.
Yeah.
And if you need any materials for your presentation to your
I'll come-
management
I'll
board,
come to
SCON,
that.
and we can
I'll
share
come
as
to
that.
much as we have.
And
I'll do
just 2 points I would like to add regarding to our advantages is the branding. The brand of Castron is one of the top brand in Vietnam. So if we launch the brand Castron Gogoro vehicle, we believe that it's gonna got the customer. The first thing. The second thing is the after sales service. So currently, some electric vehicle user they don't find convenient finding a shops to maintain and repair the electric vehicle. With Castron, we have 6,000. Castron
60,000 no shop.
6,000, yeah. And
Yeah,
there's
agents.
6,000
Yeah, and we have Castrol network
network.
Mm.
Yeah, we can
across
use
the
that.
country, from Sapa to Honda, you go wherever.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So
we
that's
have
gonna bring a
workshop.
lot of value to the customer as
So
well.
therefore assurance,
Yeah.
brand,
Branding.
because Castrol known for very high quality.
Mm.
We will not put our name on anything which is not good technology.
Yeah, that's what.
So the figures he is very conservative. It's only 3,000 for first
Very
year.
modest.
Yeah, very humble.
We have to start small, but think big.
Yeah.
Start small, start safe, but have big vision.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you.
meeting.
Thank you
Yeah.
very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
ở đâu cái sáng ấy á
đi Thượng Hải
tính ấn Thượng Hải thì em mai là đi chiều họp với đối tác chiều mai
là bên nào bi á bi mà
với bên CC1
thế thì anh Trung lại không nắm được
thành ra không
nhưng mà
kịp.
chú dự nhưng mà anh Trung có dự không có
Anh Trung không
không
anh Trung là lịch bay thứ tư thành ra em
Rồi.
chuyển ông bay chuyển
Rồi,
là thứ tư chứ
thế anh Trung không nắm được cái đấy hôm trước chú cũng có nói cho anh rồi mà anh chả nhớ cái
cả
nội dung
sáng
đó.
qua đó cả Trung đi sáng
Vâng.
em chạy không kịp em sợ nếu không kịp chứ không em muốn thì chiều mai với hai anh nữa
Ô, cái ấm tốt phết rồi nhỉ
để người ta thì thầm
Được kêu là nhưng chưa làm.
như thế nào á tí ra hết đây vào đây để nói cho bố nghe này không
nó thì thầm
Nói.
Không,
Nghe thấy
sáng-
không?
Sáng nay các anh thì nói hăng hăng là cũng vẫn nghe thấy.
nghe thấy như nó xì xào thôi đúng không
không
nó kiểu là mũi như tivi ngày xưa vẫn rõ tiếng à nhưng mà cái này nó
nói
lại
chung là cũng đỡ hơn nhiều mà.
nhưng cái này lại phải dán mờ vào chứ hay lại để như này
Có dán, có dán.
thế không làm cái niếp ý nhỉ
Đúng rồi.
đã làm kính rồi lại còn chắn sáng nữa
Anh đồng ý nhiều.
Ừ.
Cái cà phê ấy, cái cáp của nó nhá, trong cái tổng hợp cái cáp ngầm của nó ấy, là nó có sử dụng nó có 3 loại là 50, 95 đến 185.
Ừ.
Nhưng mà anh lại cho vào bảng giá của anh ấy.
Ừ.
Bảng tờ giá của anh là anh chỉ để 2 loại thôi, là anh 95 với cả lại 185. 50 không có giá hả?
Ừ, thì ghi là đã bao gồm.
Không, tức là anh vẫn chia thành 2 dòng. Nhưng mà cái phần 50 ấy
Để xem.
anh lại nhập cái phần giá của 95 đây này. Đây có phần khúc đấy. Anh nhìn.
Nó anh có cảm nhận thế không nhỉ?
Trong khi là cái phần này
Đâu?
cái này
Nơi 123 đây đúng không?
vâng đúng rồi.
Cái này là em lấy từ file Excel à?
Đúng rồi, là file của anh làm đấy.
Nhưng mà anh có cái file PDF đấy thì nó có thế đâu nhỉ? Thể hiện nội dung này đâu nhỉ? File PDF thể hiện là các ngầm ở ngoài biển này và các ngầm từ bờ vào đến trạm biến áp này là bao tiền này.
Vâng, nhưng mà em đang xem cái này để xem cụ thể giá ấy. Anh đang để như này thì
Bây giờ này nha.
tại vì nếu mà bình thường nếu mà cái loại 50 nó phải rẻ hơn chứ. Anh đang để như này giá nó bằng luôn cái 95 mà.
Đâu? Nhìn thế này có khi hai anh em đọc theo hai hướng khác nhau. Ra đây. Anh mà ra đây lấy cái để anh lấy cái nhựa này.
Này tôi bảo này, cái vụ mà kia không muốn là
Nhìn cái bảng này đúng không?
À, đấy là con
Đây. Chỉ có căm này bao gồm hết này là ngần này tiền mà.
đấy, nhưng mà em đang đối chiếu với cả cái con Ri. Đây này.
À.
Em đang đối chiếu với con Ri. Đây nhá. Thì cái con Ri, cái BOQ của anh nhá là bao gồm các cái loại này. Anh nhìn thấy không? Bao gồm các cái loại này. Thì ở đây nhá, riêng cái phần này là anh đang phải chào là con 50. Hai cái 2,4 cây. Nhưng mà sang bên này anh lại để là con 95.
À, tăng một cấp.
Tăng một cấp tức là mình tự điều chỉnh
Người ta yêu cầu. Vì ban đầu mình đề xuất
lên
như thế nhưng mà khi họp người ta yêu cầu tăng scope lên.
Tăng scope lên, vì vậy là cái giá nó sẽ auto theo cái giá của con 95.
Đúng rồi.
Em đang thắc mắc bởi vì em sợ là giá của 50 với cả 95 thì nó sẽ khác nhau.
Theo anh là sửa trên cái bản mà như thế này để mình gửi đi này em này.
Vâng, em cũng đang xem cái bảng này mà.
Anh cũng nhìn thấy mấy thứ phải sửa.
Vâng.
Thứ nhất ấy, anh nghĩ là những cái phần này thì thôi em có thể là cơ bản vẫn giữ nguyên là bắt zip được.
Các em bao giờ cần gửi anh?
Anh Dũng anh đang giục lắm rồi, bảo mùng 6 tháng 6 mà hôm nay nó mùng 9 đúng không?
Anh Dũng nào ạ?
Đây, Dũng trước mặt này.
Anh Dũng, anh toàn giục làm thì cũng phải từ từ chứ, cũng phải nghiên cứu.
Cái cáp của thằng Duyên Hải là bao nhiêu nhỉ?
Anh thì có
tổng cái cáp của Duyên Hải là bao nhiêu? Đấy,
làm cái Niso này phải bình tĩnh.
Duyên Hải. Cái tuabin ở đây là bao nhiêu về nhỉ?
Dạ.
Tuabin của dự án này là bao nhiêu về nhỉ?
Của con 96
có 16 con đúng không?
Vâng.
16 nhân bao nhiêu ra 96 nhỉ? 6 mề à?
6,25.
À 6,25.
Chắc lại dùng con Win ấy mà. Anh đi dùng mà. 6,25 nhân 16. 6 mê. Chắc là 6 mê. 6 mê anh ạ. 6 mê. Nhưng không chào tuabin.
Không chào tuabin đúng không?
Vâng, không chào tuabin.
Đúng rồi. Chỉ trừ không tuabin thôi đúng không?
Vâng. tổng cáp nhé, tổng cáp là tổng các cái phần cáp của mình phải dùng là khoảng 13 cây, 13,3 cây.
Đây là trên này thôi đúng không?
Đúng không?
Chưa tính cáp dưới này đúng không?
Đúng không?
13,3 25. Theo anh là cái phần này giữ nguyên này, cái phần này em điều chỉnh lại một chút.
Nhưng mà nếu mà giá của cái cáp ấy thì mình mới có ở cái con ri thì mình mới chỉ có của 95, 50 với cả 185. Còn cái giá của 300 với cả 500 này thì mình đang không biết nó có bị rôi lên nhiều không.
Cái này
Là
nó
cái
mới
này
là sơ
chiếm-
bộ thôi, cái này sơ bộ.
Chiếm cái khối lượng rất là lớn ấy. Nó phải 10 cây đấy chứ không phải là ít đâu nhé. Để em xem nhé, báo giá các ngập nhé, các bạn này cho nó báo có.
Nhưng đây đừng cấp đồng cấp to thế. Chả biết ngày xưa là nó phải có cái bảng giá đầu vào chứ. Thì anh mới tính được ra lần này thôi chứ.
Cái hồ sơ của nó không có một cái gì. Tức là cái năm 2024 nhá.
Nó tự đây là tự khối lượng của nó đúng không? Và lần này nó vẫn giữ khối lượng này.
Không, em không biết nhá.
Lần này nó còn giữ khối lượng này không?
Đây anh, cái 2024 nhá. Cái 2024 thì cái 2024 nhá là tất cả hồ sơ nó chỉ có như này. Nó chỉ có duy nhất mỗi cái báo giá thôi.
Chắc lại là nó gửi cho mình mỗi cái BOQ rồi, còn là mình
Còn
bốc.
đâu 2025 nhá. 2025 thì nó thêm cho mình mỗi một cái bắt à. 2025 thì nó thêm cho mình mỗi cái bản vẽ. Bản vẽ thì nó chỉ là cái bản vẽ này thôi này. Nó là mỗi cái bản vẽ này hết.
Chả gì đặc biệt đúng không?
Không có gì.
Số lượng tua bin vẫn thế à?
Số lượng tua bin vẫn vậy, tất cả mọi thứ thông số kỹ thuật tất cả vẫn như thế, và thêm mỗi cái này. Cái này thì nó cũng làm nhập từ trong cái BOQ ra. Chứ nó cũng không có cái gì đặc biệt cả.
Nhưng mà cái khối lượng này nó còn đúng như cái bây giờ hay là nó để như nào?
Cái khối lượng này, cái khối lượng đấy nó không để.
Nó không để
trong
lô
cái
lốc hết à?
BOQ của nó. Đây anh nhìn nhá.
À không để khối lượng nữa đúng không?
Nó không để khối lượng.
Rồi. Thế thì theo anh là như này đi.
Đây này anh này. Cái này nhá, nó không để khối lượng và có thể là mình đăng nhập trên bản vẽ. Không,
Do đợt đấy chắc anh nghĩ là chắc là đợt đấy là anh Bảo Hà với nhóm Bun nó tính ra cho anh khối lượng đấy over giá vào, nhưng mà theo anh thì nên như này đi. Ví dụ như cái này nhá. Toàn bộ cái trên này thì em nhập cái cũ vào đúng không? Sau này cái này là 4 phương tiện di chuyển cơ bản. Tôi xem lại cái cũ. Thế còn ví dụ như cái này em ạ, cái này thì em để vào đây là một lô. Một lô gồm hết cái này, còn khối lượng bao nhiêu không biết. Và giá của nó là em giảm đi cái này khoảng khoảng 40 tỷ là ok.
Tua bin nếu mà để 6.25 thì 6.25 thì là sẽ bị thành 100 mê. Nếu mà tua bin là 6.25 thì nó sẽ thành 100 mê. Chỉ là tua bin 6 chấm thì nó mới được là 96 thôi.
Đây này, rộng có cả 8,3 này.
Đấy thì
Thì coi như nó vẫn 16 con đúng không?
Đúng rồi.
16 x 6. Thực ra thì nó không sản xuất cái gam 6, nó chỉ có 6,25 hoặc là 5,5. Thế cho nên là nếu mà 6,5 thì ông phải derating ấy, tức là dán lại cái tên thành 6.
À thế à? Tức là
nó thường hay làm kiểu đấy.
Nó dán lại thế thôi á?
Dán lại và sửa lại tất cả các hồ sơ liên quan là thành 6.
Theo kiểu là
để mà đi nghiệm
sửa
thu.
lại thông số kỹ thuật các thứ có thể
chứ không nếu mà để này như này
về bản chất là tôi lắp là tôi vẫn lắp con 6.25.
Lắp máy y này. Nhưng mà nếu mà để cái này và không sửa tên ấy thì điện lực nó sẽ không nghiệm thu cho. Bởi vì nó bị sửa hết.
Over công suất còn gì nữa.
Nên là mình gọi là dùng là khái niệm là một là ông derate xuống, derate từ 6,5 xuống còn có 6. Và đồng thời ông name plate lại, thì dán lại nhãn. Thực tế diễn ra nhiều rồi mà mình quen rồi cái đấy. Nhá, cái này nhá. Là khoảng cái cho lại bắt rít lại như thế.
Tính thành một lọt. Giảm khoảng 40 triệu đúng không anh?
Giảm 40 tỷ đi,
40 tỷ.
còn khoảng 165 tỷ bao nhiêu đấy thôi.
Chung ok cái phương án khảo sát chưa?
Chưa, anh còn hỏi, đợi anh. Tiếp theo là cái này anh nghĩ là cứ giữ nguyên là như thế,
Cái nào?
hoặc là giảm độ 5 tỷ
Vẫn là
và
đều
bỏ
là-
hết cái khối lượng này đi.
bỏ hết khối lượng.
Rồi,
Có gì em sẽ
cái này giữ nguyên.
cái cáp này em vẫn sẽ thử so sánh lại cái
Rồi,
phần
em
giá
cứ
để
so sánh.
xem nó như nào nhé.
Rồi em cứ so sánh.
Cái nào?
Còn cái này em giữ nguyên này,
Cái nào ạ?
cái
Cáp
cao thế này này.
cao thế giữ nguyên đúng không?
Ừ.
Rồi.
Đây, cái này em cũng giữ nguyên với ghi chú như này nhá, anh thấy ở trong đấy nó cũng đang 55 cột đấy.
Vâng, đúng rồi. 55 cột cho 16.
Phần chạm biến áp, toàn bộ phần chạm biến áp từ đây này
Vâng.
xuống đây em cũng giữ nguyên cho anh.
Vâng.
Vận chuyển tua bin gió từ cảng Phú Mỹ đến sai lắp đặt anh xem cái này bao nhiêu. 141/16.
Chào, mình chào này rồi anh không nhớ ạ.
Triệu như thế nào được 8,8 tỷ.
Hôm nay em hỏi chị Linh bảo là mấy con đi so này thì chị thường thì chị không